So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are taking all the questions which were asked in the first round of LTIMindtree, which is a big company you all know. So these questions were provided by one of my friend who recently appeared in their interview. So there are some important questions which were asked. Okay, so without wasting any more time, let's get started. So coming to the first question, it's a very important question which is asked in most of the Power BI interviews. That is, give your project overview which you have recently developed. Okay, so you should be knowing how to answer your project briefly, and you should follow a certain pattern while you explain. Okay, the explanation of the project is very much useful in determining how you understand your business and its requirements. So Power BI architecture and also your business skills. So they are also able to know that how you communicate your business ideas and how you explain things. Okay, so it's a very much important question, and kindly follow this order while explaining it to them. So first you should be starting with your project name. So I have taken a sample project as sales performance and executive dashboard. Okay, so you can start like, recently I have worked on a sales performance dashboard for a multinational company. The objective of the dashboard was to provide management with single dashboard to monitor sales performance, profitability, customer behavior, inventory sales across different regions. Okay, so this is a short description or the overview of the project. Then you need to come to the business requirements. So you can take some of the most important business requirements, you have provided a centralized dashboard for monitoring overall sales performance. You need to track sales by region, by state, and by city with drill down capability. You need to analyze product performance to identify top and low selling products. Okay, so you need to monitor sales performance of the salesperson and their assigned targets. These are some of the business requirements which you can mention. And then you have to mention your responsibilities or your role in the project. Okay, this is a very important thing. So you should be telling them that you worked on understanding the KPIs, you worked on requirement gathering from the business users, data extraction from SQL Server, data transformations using Power Query, then data modeling using star schema or snowflake schema. Then you wrote DAX measures, created interactive dashboards, and then you publish them to Power BI service. Okay, so this is the list of responsibilities. So you should be telling them and in a proper order. Then you should come to the data sources which you have implemented. So such as SQL Server database, Excel files, CSV files, SharePoint list. So according to the data sources which you have used in your project, you can mention them. Then coming to the data volume, you should be mentioning that your data set consisted of around 40 million records or 50 million records, which comes to around 5 to 7 GB of data. So you should be mentioning it properly as per as your data set size. Okay, then you should be doing the data transformations. So you should mention what are the data transformations, the important ones which you have did in your raw data. Okay, so you can mention like you have removed unnecessary columns, you have used import mode wherever possible, you have optimized DAX measures, you have disabled auto date and time, you have used aggregated tables. Okay, so these are some of the important transformations that you can mention. Then coming to the data model, you have to mention what are your fact tables and dimension tables, how many fact tables and how many dimension tables you have used, and you can mention some of the fact and dimension tables. Then what are the dimensional modeling you have used, whether it is star schema or snowflake schema, that you have need to mention. Then you have created shared dimension tables, you have managed how did you manage many to many relationships. You can also mention that you have used bridge tables wherever required to manage many to many relationships. Okay, this is the data modeling under which you should be mentioning all of this. Then you need to go to the UI part, the front end part, where you need to start with the KPIs developed. So you can mention some of the important KPIs like the dashboard included total sales, total profit, net profit, profit margin, year on year growth. Okay, so you can mention some of the important KPIs which are there in your dashboard. Okay, then you can mention some of the important DAX functions which we have used for creating measures or calculated columns. So you can mention calculate, filter, all except remove filters. Okay, so you can mention some of the important DAX functions. Then coming to the dashboard pages, so how many pages were there in your dashboard, and a small overview of some of the most important pages. So you can start like the report consisted of executive summary, sales dashboard, customer analysis, product analysis, region performance, and you can give a small overview of each of the report page. Okay, and after giving each of the report pages overview, you need to come to what are the challenges you have faced while developing the report. Okay, so first challenge you can mention as slow DAX measures. So some of the measures were taking more than 10 seconds to load. So the solution that you implemented is you avoided nested if statements, you used variables, you reduced the use of iterator functions wherever it was not necessary. Then you used performance analyzer to identify the bottlenecks. Then challenge 2 was complex data cleaning because of large data volume. So you face some difficulties in some of the portions of data cleaning and transformations because of the huge data size. So you can mention that you implemented you handled null values, how you split and merge the columns, how you used Power Query editor, how you remove duplicates. Okay, so see, these are some of the data cleaning steps you can mention. Then coming to dynamic security, the ask was different regional managers should see only their own data. So you implemented row level security using a mapping table and using user principal name function. Okay, so it was a good challenge that you faced. So another challenge that you can mention is the refreshing the complete data set, which took around 2 hours of time. So you implemented incremental refresh so that the latest data was refreshed, and it reduced the data up to around 20 minutes. It reduced the refresh time to around 20 minutes. Okay, so at last you can conclude by mentioning some of the business impacts that you have created with the help of your dashboard. That you reduce the report preparation time from 2 to 3 days to around 20 minutes. You enabled real-time visibility into sales performance, helped leadership identify underperforming regions and products, improved decision making through sales service dashboards. So you can mention some of the important business impact that you have created. Okay, so this is the proper way that you should be explaining your project and in the correct sequence which you have told. So it will create a good impact on the starting question only. Okay. So coming to the SQL question, only one question was given to him as a hands-on problem, and he was asked to share his screen and write the code. So the problem was like that. So a table was given. It consisted of event ID, event name, gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal. So he was asked to write a SQL code to find the count of gold medal each person has, but his name should not be present in silver or bronze. Okay. So here is a trick that the table consisted of gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal as a column name. Okay, and the name of the people was given in rows. So the solution was not so tricky, but you have to be careful while implementing the solution, because the gold medal and silver medal and bronze medal was given in columns. Okay, so I have already written the code. I'll explain it to you. So select gold medal as player name. Gold medal as player name means, so under gold medal there are players who has won the gold medal. So we'll select gold medal as player name. Okay, and count star as gold medal count. So count star will calculate the count of people who has won gold medal. Okay, the count of people who has won gold medal from Olympic results table, and where gold medal is not null. So we have to check the gold medal is not null, because there are rows where null values are also present. So gold medal should not be null, and gold medal should not be in column. So we should not be it should not be present in silver or bronze column, and we should be checking it with the help of not in operator. So where and gold medal not in, we'll use a subquery in order to get the names of both silver medal and bronze medal under one column, because we cannot directly use AND operator to get both the names, since both are at different columns. So you have to use union operator in order to fetch the names of the silver medalist and bronze medalist in one single column. So we'll make use of a subquery where select silver medal from Olympic results, where silver medal is not null. Union select bronze medal from Olympic results where bronze medal is not null. Okay, this is a very simple. It will just give you all the names of the silver medalist and bronze medalist in one single column, and that subquery, outside it we are checking that gold medal is not in. So we will get only those gold medalists whose name is not present in the union list of silver medal or bronze medal. You get it? So that is the requirement, and at the last we will do a group by gold medal in order to count the number of gold medal each person has won, because there are people who has won more than one gold medal. So we will just use group by gold medal. So this is a very precise solution. So coming to the first Power BI question, what is the difference between row context and filter context? So row context means DAX evaluates one row at a time. Okay, so it is automatically created in calculated columns and by iterator functions like SUMX, filter or average X. Okay, so each row has access only to values of that particular row. So this defines a row context. So for filter context, you can say like, so filter context is the set of filters which is applied before a measure is calculated. Okay, and these filters may come from slicers, filter span, visual filters, row or columns in a matrix, or calculate functions. So the number of external and internal filters which are affecting the values of a measure. Okay, so example you can give as total sales is equal to sum of sales amount. So if the report is filtered for the year 2025, then the measure calculates only the sales for the year 2025. Okay, so this is a small example which you can give. So coming to the next question, what is the difference between dates YTD and total YTD? So for dates YTD, you can say like it returns a table of dates from the beginning of the year till the current date. Okay, and it cannot calculate the YTD values directly, so it has to be used along with a calculate function, you can say, for dates YTD. Okay, so example is sales of YTD is equal to calculate sum of sales amount comma dates YTD date table date. Okay, so you have for calculating the YTD sales, you have to use it along with calculate function for dates YTD. So for total YTD, it returns the actual YTD value directly. So it is a shortcut for calculate plus dates YTD. Okay, so the DAX measure for calculating the sales YTD becomes sales YTD is equal to total YTD of sum of sales amount date table date. Okay, so this is the difference between dates YTD and total YTD. So coming to the next question, what is the difference between all except and all selected? So for all function, you can say it removes all the filters from a table or column. So for all except, it removes every filter except the specified columns. And for all selected, you can say like it removes filters inside the visuals while keeping the filters selected by the user through slicers or report filters. So it only removes the filters from the visuals, but it keeps the filters which are there in the slicers or report filters which are selected by the users. Okay, and the use case of all selected, it is mainly used for percentage of total, running total or dynamic ranking. So these are the main use cases of all selected function. So coming to the next question, how will you optimize a slow running reports? So this is one of the most important question which is often asked in a Power BI interview. So most of the interviews this question will be definitely asked. So it is a very common question. So there are many steps how you can optimize a slow running report, and you have to specify each of the step very carefully. So for step 1, you can say like check performance analyzer to identify the visuals which is taking the longest time, and to find whether there is a delay caused by DAX visuals or queries with the help of performance analyzer. So for a part of the second step, you can optimize the DAX queries How can you optimize the DAX queries? You can reduce the repeated use of calculate function. You can store the repeated calculations in variables. Okay, you can avoid nested if statements, and you can avoid unnecessary iterator functions like sumx if it is not required. Okay, so coming to the third step you should be doing is you can optimize the data model. How can you optimize? You can use a star schema, you can remove the unnecessary columns, you can avoid bidirectional relationships if it is not required, and we can use proper data types, and we can reduce the table cardinality, okay, as a part of optimizing the data model. So as a part of step 4, we can optimize the Power Query by filtering the rows before loading, by disabling the unnecessary query loads if the tables are not required in your report. So you can disable it in the Power Query itself. Okay, so remove the unused columns. If you have many columns which are not used in your data model, you can remove those. Okay, and you should be checking query folding wherever possible. So query folding should be active. Okay, so next step you can perform is visual level complexity. So avoid too many visuals in one single page, and we can use drill through functionality instead of large tables in one single page, and we can minimize heavy custom visuals. Okay, and as a part of step 6, you can tell optimize data refresh. We can make use of incremental refresh for large data sets. We can schedule refreshes efficiently, and we can prefer import mode wherever feasible because it enhances the report performance. Okay, so if you need these questions along with the answers in a document format, you can simply mail at my email ID asking for the answers. I will simply send it to you so that you can take preparations by solving this real-time interview questions. Okay, just simply mail at my email ID, which you can see in the screen, and I will send the answers to you in a document format. Okay, so if you like this video, simply like and subscribe to the channel for more such content for solving the real-time Power BI interview and SQL questions. Okay, it will really motivate a lot. Thank you so much.